Trump maintains hardline on Canada after meeting with Trudeau. Donald Trump said he had a productive meeting with Justin Trudeau after the Canadian Prime Minister paid a surprise trip to his Mar-a-Lago estate amid fears about Trump's promised tariffs. Trudeau became the first G7 leader to meet with Trump before his second term amid widespread fears in Canada and many other parts of the world that Trump's trade policy will cause widespread economic chaos. But Trump also seemed to double down on the threat, which he has frequently linked to trying to encourage other countries to combat drug smuggling into the U.S. I just had a very productive meeting with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau of Canada, where we discussed many important topics that will require both countries to work together to address, like the fentanyl and drug crisis that has decimated so many lives as a result of illegal immigration, fair trade deals that do not jeopardize American workers, and the massive trade deficit that U.S. has with Canada, Trump said, in a statement posted to Truth Social, his social media platform. Trudeau and a handful of top advisors flew to Florida amid expectations that Trump will impose a 25% surcharge on Canadian products that could have a devastating impact on Canadian energy, auto, and manufacturing exports. The meeting, over dinner between Trudeau and Trump, their wives, U.S. cabinet nominees, and Canadian officials, lasted over 3 hours and was described by a senior Canadian official to the Toronto Star as a positive, wide-ranging discussion. Trump added, "I made it very clear that the United States will no longer sit idly by as our citizens become victims to the scourge of this drug epidemic, caused mainly by the drug cartels and fentanyl pouring in from China. Too much death and hardship. Prime Minister Trudeau has made a commitment to work with us to end this terrible devastation of U.S. families." Leaving a Florida hotel in West Palm Beach on Saturday, Trudeau said, "It was an excellent conversation." The face-to-face meeting came at Trudeau's suggestion, according to the Canadian official, and had not been disclosed to the Ottawa Press Corps, which only found out about Trudeau's trip when flight tracking software detected the Prime Minister's plane was in the air. The two leaders discussed trade, border security, fentanyl, defense matters including NATO and Ukraine along with China, energy issues and pipelines, including those that feed Canadian oil and gas into the U.S., over a dinner that reportedly included a dish called Mary Trump's Meatloaf. The pair also discussed next year's G7 meeting, which Trudeau will host in Kananaskis, Alberta. 7 years after Trump abruptly left the 2018 G7 at Charlevoix, Quebec, amid a U.S.-Canadian dispute over American steel and aluminum tariffs. The Pennsylvania Senator-elect Dave McCormick posted a photo to the social media platform X late Friday, showing Trudeau sitting beside Trump. Others in the picture included Howard Lutnick, Trump's nominee for Commerce Secretary, Governor Doug Burgum of North Dakota, the pick for Interior Secretary, and the U.S. Representative Mike Waltz of Florida, the pick for National Security Advisor. Canadian officials included the Public Safety Minister, Dominic LeBlanc, responsible for border security, and Trudeau's Chief of Staff, Katie Telford. Canada's ambassador to Washington, Kirsten Hillman, and Trudeau's Deputy Chief of Staff, Brian Clough, were also at the dinner. LeBlanc said Canada was prepared to beef up border security with more money for technology, drones, and more Mounties, and border guards on the 49th parallel. Earlier on Friday, Trudeau told reporters that he looked forward to having lots of great conversations with Trump and that the two would work together to meet some of the concerns and respond to some of the issues. Trudeau also said that it was important to understand is that Donald Trump, when he makes statements like that, he plans on carrying them out. There's no question about it. Our responsibility is to point out that in this way, he would actually not just be harming Canadians who work so well with the United States, He would actually be raising prices for American citizens as well and hurting American industry and businesses. But some observers were less than impressed. The symbolism of Trudeau going down to Palm Beach on bended knee to say please don't is very, very powerful. Fen Hampson, professor of international affairs at Carleton University in Ottawa, told Bloomberg. The stakes are enormously high and Trudeau has to deliver on this, Hampson said. Otherwise, it's going to be seen by Canadians as a failed mission, because we all know why he's going down there, and it's not to baste the turkey for Trump. The scramble to defuse Trump's tariff threats has also preoccupied the Mexican president, Claudia Sheinbaum, in recent days. On Thursday, Sheinbaum said she had had a very kind phone conversation with Trump in which they discussed immigration and fentanyl. She said the conversation meant there will not be a potential tariff war between the U.S. and Mexico. But the two leaders differed on Trump's claim in a post on Truth Social that Sheinbaum had agreed to stop migration through Mexico and into the United States, effectively closing our southern border. The Mexican president later said she had not. Each person has their own way of communicating, but I can assure you, I guarantee you, that we never, additionally, we would be incapable of doing so, propose that we would close the border in the north of Mexico or in the south of the United States. It has never been our idea, and of course, we are not in agreement with that. Sheinbaum said the pair had not discussed tariffs, but their conversation reassured her that no tit-for-tat tariff battle would be necessary. Trump also expanded on his economic message on tariffs to other global leaders on Saturday, threatening BRICS countries, an acronym that includes Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, with 100% tariffs if they acted on discussions to drop the dollar as their reserve currency. The idea that the BRICS countries are trying to move away from the dollar while we stand by and watch is over, Trump wrote on Truth Social. Trump said the U.S. would require a commitment from BRICS nations, a geopolitical alliance that now also includes Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia, and the United Arab Emirates, that they will neither create a new BRICS currency nor back any other currency to replace the mighty U.S. dollar, or they will face 100% tariffs.